Hello footy tippers, welcome along to our regular look at AFL Round 20. Russell Barwick alongside Marc Dragicevic here at ANZ Stadium for Centrebet.com, and it is the scene of a very big game this Saturday night between the Swans and Collingwood. Could be a defining moment for both in the season thus far. Let's have a look at what's going on though. This week, I'm going to say, Dragger, well done last week on flumming North Melbourne over Geelong.
Yes, thank you for that, mate. I appreciate the acknowledgement, and after you laughed at my face.
It's only taken 19 rounds for you to finally find one at a decent price for the punters, but let's see if you can go two in a row. St Kilda take on Hawthorn. You aren't tipping the Saints, surely?
No, definitely not, even though the Hawks had a bit of a slip-up last week against the Tigers. Look, most of their big guns were down that week. It just happened to be that way, and Hodge will be out this week, but Saints just can't do enough, I don't think, to get within, obviously, 5 goals of Brisbane. So
this is the confidence booster Hawthorn need, because they've just been going okay the last month or so.
Yeah, that's a good point, and 1 goal between the 2 big guns up forward. They won't be happy with that. A little bit inconsistent at the minute.
What about your Tigers? Back on track? Definitely. I even heard the coach say, go and buy your finals tickets.
Where's the lid? Where's the lid? The lid is well and truly off now. Pretty exciting to be a Tigers fan.
They've got to secure a home final, though, because they're a better side at the MCG.
Yeah, it might end up being a Collingwood-Richmond first final at this stage, but the way they play contested footy, and the fact that 5 of their best 6 were actually backmen, which they tried to recruit and draft 2 years ago, is a good sign.
Yeah, Alex Rance was simply outstanding the other day, that's for sure and certain. Geelong take on Port Adelaide. What a win by the Power. They're definitely going to make it as well. It'll come down to that last game against Carlton, but they've got a 2-game break now, and I really like what they bring to the table, although they might find the Cats' bounce-back theory a bit big for them this week.
I think they will this weekend, but the fact that they won in a close game when they shouldn't have won in time on. Young Wingard, all right, he's going to be a gun player. I know it's his second year, but he'll probably be All-Australian too. But it's good to see the Power where they've come from this year in Ken Hinkley. They'll push the Cats, but I don't think they'll get a win down there.
What about Carlton and the Bulldogs? Interesting game, this.
I really like what the Bulldogs have been doing the last month. It's a completely different brand of football. You can see what Brendan McCartney probably been working on since November. It's a lot of hard contested footy, and they've got blokes like Wallace now who can do a job on an opponent, Liberatore.
You're tipping an upset there?
I am. I like the Bulldogs, and Carlton for me just don't have that flair anymore, and I want to see Walker jump on someone's shoulders or something like that.
Sydney and Collingwood here at ANZ Stadium. The Swans, well, they weren't brilliant. That last 2 minutes in the third quarter against the Doggies got away with that game, but in the end they win by 35. You'd take that every time. Yeah,
you would, and if it wasn't for that, it might have been a different story with a bit more of a belief from the Bulldogs. But the Swannies, for me, they've had a lot of younger guys now play a lot of games. Maybe they're getting a little bit tired. They need some of their senior guys back, which it doesn't look like it'll happen before the finals with Goods, Jetta and Reid. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm actually tipping Collingwood to come up here and cause an upset and shake up that top 3 again.
Gold Coast taking on Melbourne. I don't think the Demons can bounce back from last week. It was pretty ordinary. Essendon taking on West Coast. What do you think is going to happen here?
I have no idea, to be honest. They're so unpredictable, these teams.
It's a watch game.
Let's go with Essendon to bounce back, but only just.
And Adelaide take on Kangaroos on Sunday as well. The Crows would be still hurting from last week.
They will be, and now my new team, the Kangaroos, getting up for me. I think actually Adelaide will win over there. They'll be breeding fire. They can't lose 2 in a row.
Okay, and the GWS boys are probably still rejoicing after their win on the weekend, and they go to Fremantle, and it's going to be a long trip and an even longer trip back home, one would suggest. Let's just wrap up Dragger's tips for this weekend. He likes the Hawks, Richmond, Geelong, the Bulldogs in a bit of an upset, Collingwood ditto. And then on Saturday night, the Gold Coast. Sunday, he likes Essendon in a flip of the coin game. Kangaroos to win again. And Fremantle wrapping it up over the GWS Giants. Don't forget Centrebet.com for all the best odds. AFL Round 20, and we'll see you next week.